and I'll be. Okay. Who are we? We just told you, but in case you don't know, like, you want to say the more detailed version?
Okay. Yeah, I'm Tariq on YouTube. I do video essays, I'm a cartoonist, and I'm currently working on my own animated pilot called Hey. Yeah, that's mine.
I'll speak Kiki. I'm a video essayist, a voice actor, musician, artist, maker of many things, and currently hard at work on a cartoon band called Alien Knox.
Very cool. You should listen.
What a slice of life, Tariq.
Uh, well, the dictionary defines slice of life as a realistic representation of everyday experiences in a movie, play, or book. But how I describe slice of life is this chart that Ian Jones, Torty, Greedo, OK Pale made, where you have Doug Prime, which is just Doug. You got Pepper Ann, which is 20-year-old Doug. You got Hey On, which is football Doug. You got Elvin, which is wheelchair Doug. Going in space is Space Doug. I guess the Weekenders is 4 Dougs.
And then there's Disney's Doug, and then, as told by Ginger, looks like she's dramatic girl Doug, which tracks. All grown up is Rugrats Doug. The Proud Family is Black Girl Doug. Recess is School Doug, which I could have sworn Doug went to school, and Teacher's Pet is Dog Doug. Yeah, it's thirsty. Slice of life ranges from all different eras. That's why you have like simple stuff like Peanuts, the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show, and you get to like how the Craig of the Creek and stuff like that's keeping it still alive today.
All right. So why did we make this panel, Our Connection to Slice of Life? It's why we're friends!
That's right.
So we both made As Told by Ginger videos. You can see the thumbnails in the bottom there.
Yes,
and I messaged Tariq after I saw his As Told by Ginger video, because I was like, oh, fuck, this guy made one, now mine's gonna die. But actually, I watched it and I was like, wow, I really agree with all this person's opinions. Maybe we should make a video together.
Yeah.
And then like a year and a half and several tragedies later, we made Braceface, The Beautiful Mess. And then we became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a list you gave me
Yes.
of like a bunch of different cartoons. And Braceface was the one I saw a bunch in the comments. People like, oh, you gotta do Braceface. I was like, okay, sure. So, and then yeah, we ended up doing it. Ended up being an hour long. My friends yelled at me because it shouldn't have been that long. That's what they told me. I don't know if I told you that. D'Angelo yelled at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we've been thick as thieves ever since.
Yeah. Canon event. Cool, so we're gonna talk about a bunch of slice of life cartoons and why we love them and how they differ from each other, and then at the end we'll have like a 15-20 minute session to chat with you guys about slice of life and answer questions.
Yeah.
First up is Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, we got Bob's up here. Bob's is one of the shows keeping the genre alive today. One thing that I've always gravitated towards about this show is that they all feel like real people, real wholesome people that really care about each other and love each other. I think somewhere around like Family Guy and stuff like that, I think there was like a conscious decision to kind of reject the wholesome family values of certain shows, to kind of turn that on its head. And like to a degree, you can understand that if like everything has everybody loving each other, wouldn't it be funny if like this family like couldn't stand the sight of each other? But the issue is that now that's what most of them are. But Bob's is the one that's like keeping the wholesome thing alive. They experiment with a lot of things. Like for example, they did a whole episode where they had fans send in like art styles and different things, and they animated it in fans' art styles, which is really cool. They did the movie, which is at the bottom. We got a slide about movies later, but the movie's at the bottom. As you can see, it's really expanded. There's a lot of shadows. You know, cartoons love them shadows when they go to theaters. But yeah, Bob's is just one of those that like you once you see it, you clearly understand why it's been around so long, and why people care about it. And it really all just comes from like that family and their connection, and how that show revels in like the mundane and simple situations. Nothing too big can happen to these characters. Everything's really based in like reality. But yeah, you got a little Bob talk.
Not really. I think you said everything, but
Oh,
I love me
sorry.
some Bobs. I guess I want to ask you, because like you could compare these shows to the other like family sitcoms that aired during animation domination or whatever. What do you think differentiates this from like The Simpsons, or what do you think makes this like the most slice of life out of any of those?
Yeah, I think with all of those shows that lasted a while, except for King of the Hill, but like you look at like Simpsons and Family Guy, they even though like Family Guy, like the dog speaks and everything, but like they all kind of started out just like really like relatively simple, like things that could happen to people. The Simpsons has something that they employ called flexible reality, which is like there's real world like implications, but still like wacky things can happen. The best example I could think of is I just watched an episode from season 7, Summer of 4'2". There's a joke where Homer lights a firecracker in the house, and then he's like, "Oh, damn, the firecracker's lit in the house," and he's like freaking out. And it's really cartoony. He's doing a whole bunch of like takes and everything like that, and he like throws it under the sink, and then it explodes. But when it explodes, like black stuff comes out the sink, and it like falls out, and it's like real muddy. It's a really silly like cartoony situation to be in, but it's like a real world consequence for like what he did. Whereas in Bob's, like that just wouldn't even happen.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I don't think anything that wouldn't happen to like a normal like person could happen to these characters. I think it would break the world.
Yeah.
I think they've established that. But yeah, I think that's like the clearest difference.
Okay, I agree. Okay, let's go. Next up, Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Something I loved about Hey Arnold as a kid versus most of the other cartoons that were on was just how chill it was. I felt like a lot of the cartoons I was watching were kind of like assaulting my senses with things happening very quickly, and I love SpongeBob and stuff, but sometimes I would love when I could tune into Hey Arnold and just hear the like jazzy music in the background and watch him having these slow conversations and
Walking down the street, having some quiet time in his room. I just felt like he was one of the most relatable characters on television because it was so heavily slice of life, and the stakes were not very dire.
I think the cool thing about that show too, and it's like that with a few cartoons like up here, is that like if you look at it a certain way, like that town is the main character. Like all of those.
Yeah.
All of like his friends. I think of it like sometimes if you tell somebody that like number 5 isn't the main character in Kids Next Door, they'll be like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." But it's like number 5 is as much of the main character in Kids Next Door as like Helga is in Hey Arnold. Like Helga is very prominent. She's practically a secondary main. So many of those like kids that you think are just like joke characters or something like that, they get their own stories. They get their own emotions. Yeah, we got like a couple great, like, memorable episodes listed here. I tried to, Helga on the couch. I think this one's called Mud, when Arnold get robbed and he just learned karate and start beating everybody up. There's the Christmas special that anybody that loves this cartoon knows, as well as the Pigeon Man one. And Stoop Kid. Yeah, there's too many.
Stoop Kid's iconic.
Yeah. People are still saying Stoop Kid's afraid to leave the stoop today.
I say that all the time.
But yeah, I've always really appreciated this cartoon. When I was a kid, I asked my mother what cartoon she liked, and she said Hey Arnold, and I ain't let go of it since, and she don't like nothing else. But yeah, and they had 2 movies.
What you say about the city being the main character, I guess we'll touch on it later on, but makes what they did with the first movie make a lot more sense,
Yeah.
because they're doing something to what we think is the main character.
Right.
There.
Mission Hill! My heart and soul, my very favorite adult animated cartoon.
What is this?
What is this? Criminally underrated. From the creators of The Simpsons. It was kind of bounced around between networks and then ended up on Adult Swim. It's an amazing, irreverent little cartoon that only got like 12 episodes or something, about Andy French, a cartoonist living in the city with his friends, like Posey and Jim, and then his GF on and off Gwen. And his whole life is interrupted when his little brother moves in with him and starts going to school in the city. And the whole show is just about their adventures in the city and contrasting his little brother's world with his own. My favorite thing about this series as a slice of life is you could watch any episode of the show on its own and it would just be a self-contained thing, but if you watch all of them back to back, there's like noticeable character growth, especially between the two brothers and their relationship and how they interact with each other from beginning to end. So even though it's entirely episodic and there's not really much of a plot between the episodes, they still feel like real people who are changing and growing, and you're seeing like a chronological snapshot of their life. It's also extremely beautiful. It was either one of the last or the last cartoon to be painted on hand animated cells, so you can still find some of the cells online for exorbitant prices, and the colors are just gorgeously neon, and if you can find a 4K restoration, I strongly recommend it. Okay, I'm done. I fucked up thing now.
I've only just now started to indulge after my friends been yelling at me for years. I watched a couple, and I had to stop because I got upset that I was gonna run out. It's a very good cartoon. They still keep it alive today. Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein, as you can see, on the panel they do these live readings and live things to keep the show afloat, like keep it alive. Fans still care about it. People come out all the time. They like read. I think they read like episodes that didn't air.
Yeah, and they screen the whole show in 4K in the theater, which I would love to see someday.
It's definitely worth it. I've been to.
Yeah, I'm so envious. I made a video a while ago on like why I think its pilot is perfect, and I'm currently working on a video about like all the lost episodes of Mission Hill. I'm doing a couple like lost episodes videos, but keep an eye out for that, and I'll tell you more about the show and the that didn't get made. Order.
Okay, so first of all, I'm sure many of you have noticed the John Legend.
I watched him put that there.
Arthur, he don't look like John Legend. Raise your hand if you think Arthur looks like that's way too many people. You need to get them going. All right. Arthur was my icebreaker cartoon. For a while, as an icebreaker, I would tell people that Arthur was still running. They wouldn't be able to believe it. I can't do that anymore because it just went off. And Stevino in the corner with the damn crop top, show Steve hoodie, no Steve hoodie. When he got older, you guys didn't know that. I'm sorry that's how you found out. You know, but I think what's really cool about Arthur is that there are really memorable, like simple episodes of Arthur. There's the library card. There's the one where he like watches that, which is essentially just like low-key about bronies for real. He watches that like kids cartoon, like he's scared to tell everybody about it. And then there's the best man, you know what that's about. I told you that. And then there's the heavy episode. The heavy episode is I think that's the lunch lady, right? That got
Lunch lady
cancer. There's April 9th, which is an episode that I really like. That's it's kind of reactionary to 9/11, and it's like there's a fire in school, and like all the kids are finding the ways to deal with it. It's really well put together. I rewatched it recently. It's still looking good. Yeah, I love Arthur. They ran it from '96 to probably like 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I love it. It's been a part of my life forever. It's a great show.
I feel the same. Arthur is extremely iconic to me. I didn't have cable past like third grade, so when I was coming home from school, all that I could really watch was PBS. Arthur felt like that, once I got into middle school, at least one of the only shows I could like still enjoy without feeling like I was an actual baby. And I feel like I learned a lot about like relationships and like how people treat each other from this show, even though it's like you think of like memes when you think of Arthur. But yeah, I could put this on right now and have a great time.
But I think the fact that like we're all these years later and people are still like beaming about it and making jokes about it is very
Just how iconic it is.
Yeah, it's just a super iconic cartoon. Like even putting the slide together, like when I saw that image of them holding that library card, my like brain exploded. That is like, it's so iconic. Like, having fun isn't hard if you got a library card. It's such a great show.
Some other favorites.
Some others. All the classics.
What makes Slice of Life special? That's what we want to talk about next.
Yeah, you can always I think what's cool is a lot of the time you get to watch characters grow up, you get to watch them grow, you get to watch them change. And Told by Ginger is a great example of that, especially with Darren.
Yeah.
Darren has the headgear on, which is already iconic as it is. He has the headgear on and then he takes it off. And then he starts to play football at the end of the show. He gets like,
You're doing that.
yeah.
But then they end up together anyway. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
right. He did the high and dry, the appendix exploded and everything.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. You can also count on the consistency. Those shows, they have like this real cozy feel. You can always depend on them to be the same. You can always depend on the characters to be how they were the last time you saw them. Like, every time you saw them kick it a hill, you're going to see Hank, Bill, Dale, and Boomhauer sitting right outside Nick's house drinking them nasty beers. And there's relatability. You get to see, especially growing up as a kid, you get to see a lot of things that you're going through related to characters that you care about. One of the most, one of the biggest examples for me, I think, is this Brown family episode, Between Family Lines, I think it's called, where both sides of Penny's family come to watch BB and CC get baptized, and she got the hood side, and she got the bougie side, and that was the first time I had ever seen something like that in animation, especially as somebody that has the hood side and the bougie side. I felt very seen. And yeah, I think even now, like, kids get stuff like that with like Cricket the Creek. That you get to see like just a different kind of warm black family. Yeah.
Yeah, on the relatability front, I really loved the way that Braid Space dealt with Sharon's divorced parents and her estrangement, and then like kind of healing her relationship with her dad and him becoming more involved in her life. Did the same thing in It's Told by Ginger. She writes the Hello Stranger poem, and then as the show goes on, you get like a better picture of her father as an imperfect human who's trying his best to be there for his kid, and then he's there at her graduation, and I cry every time I watch it. But yeah, I definitely appreciated those like young girl cartoons for showing maybe the more unpleasant sides of growing up and normalizing them, and trying to give good lessons about body image and relationships with your family and navigating difficult situations with your friends, stuff like that. But I told Ginger should have done the betrayal better.
I know, yeah. There's like a section of that cartoon where I guess like her friends, Ginger's friends are like,
You don't really spend time with us. You like to spend time with
They trap her on a phone call.
yeah, they like
Gotcha. And then the next episode, there's no repercussions.
they put it on like 6-way. I had never seen nothing like that, but it was like 2003.
Nasty word. Let's talk about Fantastic. fantastical slice of life.
There's a big chapter of slice of life cartoons that get really weird and wacky, but there's like chunks of like character lives and like how they feel and like so yeah, Boondocks is whatever, you got Boondocks. Well, there is no way you can put Boondocks next to like Hey Arnold. That just doesn't like it. So like like they still get like really wild, but it does find a way to ground itself and like be about like this man and his grandkids a lot of the time. But other time they doing stuff like sing music or whatever. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is, I mean, yeah, like, but I think that's still a point though. Like, I think that's what you gonna do about it? Yeah, I think that's what makes that cartoon cool in its own way. Is that like it takes these like really simple, like specific like black situations and cartoonizes them. And you know it's drastic, you know it's cartoony, but at the same time you understand everybody's emotion.
Still that relatability.
Yeah, it's still relatable because it still branches from a situation. Regular show does that too, so that's up here too. Like that's like starts off normal, and then they get something every time. They can never just clean that part. And I got Martha versus the Monorail up here. That one in particular, people regard it now as like, if not the greatest, one of the greatest Simpsons episodes. But you hear about the reception of the episode at the time, and like there was like fan backlash because it wasn't simple. It was wacky. It wasn't like before that, like like Lisa wanted a pony and stuff like that. And like this cartoon is like acting real cartoon. Leonard Nimoy like beats himself up in the space at the end. You know what I mean? Like so I think fans like really push back on that because they missed when the show was simpler. But now we just kind of regard it and like we let our guard down and now realize how funny it is. But I think like that's just part of like the term a lot of these cartoons make, and either your own born, your own born, or you're not. Sometimes.
Y'all catch that Ozempic special that South Park just wrote?
I have not watched it.
That's the craziest thing I've seen them do in a long time.
It's pretty good. It's good though. If you haven't seen it, it's good. I love it. We had a good time. What do we gotta do, man?
Okay.
You want? Okay. Yeah. I love this woman that he gave me over the fish, man. I think it's great.
I really like how I do that. They go for TV.
Yeah.
Ed, Edd n Eddy really captures the feeling of like in the 2000s being unsupervised and running around with your friends and getting lost in the woods and like raiding someone's garage for all the toys and no one's parents know who they are because phones don't exist and something that I don't think kids feel anymore.
Right. Yeah. It's just I think the show also for household culture they keep that bad. Where it's cool.
Dude, the first time I saw like one of those really big jawbreakers in real life, I was kind of horrified.
Oh,
Yeah. They have one like the size of your head.
So how do you?
Cartoon laundry. Next.
All right, we wanted to talk about how slice of life cartoons translate to video games. There's a monster football game.
Yeah, so the story is mostly they don't translate to video games very well because they have to shift into another genre to exist. Like The Simpsons had Simpsons Road Rage and Simpsons Hit and Run, the GTA like and the racing like. Which they have all the characters and they have like scenarios, but there's really no way to capture what goes on in a Simpsons episode in the game for the most part. I guess there's a Simpsons movie game. I didn't think about that.
But that one is it's not even paced like a regular episode.
It's kind of like the SpongeBob movie game.
Yeah, it's like
It's not the movie game, it's based off the show as a whole.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
Are you gonna bring out the South Park piece? Yes.
Yeah, like Stick and Truth and
The shitty N64 game. Okay, Stick of Truth is amazing.
what's the other one? Fracture But Whole.
Yeah.
Right.
No bad.
No, I heard it.
I honestly wouldn't put the South Park ones in here because I feel like they're kind of more successful, and we wanted to talk about ways that it doesn't work with this one. Like Bob's Burgers, they didn't know what to do, so they made a pinball game for the PS4.
Why?
Which is like, you can do Bob's Burgers. Oh yeah, now Rocket Power. We have Rocket Power up there. That's one of those that like it's kind of made for video.
It works because they were doing sports.
Yeah.
So you can do sports with a video game.
I think Rocket Power is probably the best trend.
And then only like 90s kids who like had cognition in the 90s might remember this, but Arthur had like living thoughts. I also had them for like Dr. Seuss and stuff, but I think that's an interesting way to translate Arthur because that is a real way of like telling stories in the same way, but just like teaching me how to read at the same time. That's pretty nice.
Okay, wait. Now let me play. Don't wait, Kate.
No.
Okay, so technically, the Arthur Living books, a couple of them actually came before the show.
Oh,
In fact, if you look at the very first one, Arthur's Teacher Trouble, it feels more Peanuts like than any.
Okay. Cool. And then yeah, there's a Hey Arnold platformer for some reason.
Yeah. I barely understand what that is. But like you said, they don't really like there's no king in no game.
Not in that house. The racing game that's on mobile.
What? Oh yeah, well,
They made a game about Vancouver.
The propane GTA thing. From the
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
How do slice of life cartoons translate to movies?
We have divided this into 3 very specific sections and patterns. There's the save the town, place, thing, hang out at the movie, they save the neighborhood, the Simpsons movie, they save Springfield, Recess moves out, they save Recess. The Bob's Burgers movie, they saved the restaurant, it's ultimately about like a murder, but like, we call this one, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. This is when the slice of life cartoon comes out of this very small environment and puts the characters in bigger situations. Yeah, road trip joint. That's how you got the Rugrats movie where they get lost in the woods. The Ed and Eddie movie where they go to find Eddie's brother. Beavis and Butthead movie where they go all across America. And Rugrats go out where they lose the baby in the woods again. I guess you have parents, but I thought it would be funny to say things. You gotta think about the joke. It's funnier than when you watch the people in the woods. They go in the parents. But they do go to parents too. They do that thing with the Thornberries in that one. The Thornberries are not outside their environment, though. They belong in the woods.
Also to the movie.
They're also involved in that, so they belong there too. Well, I guess they go to London. Whatever. And then there's the ones that like they're kind of okay. So there's this like brief phenomena of slice of life cartoons kind of feeling insecure with their lower stakes. So when they translate to a bigger format, they feel a need to push the characters in different directions instead of just reveling in the mundane of this situation. The Joker movie, Arnold is somehow the chosen one. In Doug's first movie, like, no cap is just like the Loch Ness monster. Like there's just a monster. It's like E.T. It's like there's a robot. There's the Proud Family movie. With the genome, the peanuts.
With American Red Free.
So yeah, I also have we also have the man called Flintstone up here, which is a little obscure choice, but that one is the theatrical movie for the Flintstones. And yeah, they just kind of like he's like a spy.
What?
It's like a James Bond. He's just like a spy. He's like he's like a spy.
When Fred Huff plays with his mini cake with a little slide pin.
Yeah, it's like it's like a little
Basically cartoon finale.
right. Little cute finale. Not a roll when it starts to slide.
I guess the point of this slide was to say, like, it seems like when you take a slice of life cartoon and make it into a movie, it can't be truly slice of life anymore. They gotta exit the slice.
You gotta up the ante a little
Exit the
bit.
pie.
Everyone, I think out of everything up here, the one that feels the most like there's two that I think feel the most like the cartoon.
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, there's the Bob movie and there's the Etta and Eddie movie. Well, who said that? That's a good movie. That's a good movie. It's a great movie.
One of the things I love about cartoons with the whole fall down with the mom.
The thematic goes up. So yeah, you got like Eddie's brother and the Eddie movie that are like.
I rewound the Helga and Arnold kid scene in the Hey Arnold movie so many times as a kid.
That scene's really good
It's
too.
so good. He's like so freaked out.
No.
What?
I'm gonna answer fun. No.
Well, yeah, I was an adult. When the Jungle movie came out. That was just exciting, but I just rewind it.
Yeah, that's what we're
Guess what?
I have a cartoon that I'm working on. It's called Hey. It's a slice of life cartoon about two people who really love each other, trying to figure out how to love each other. It's a mix between Insecure and Bob's Burgers.
I just realized I downloaded this as a PDF, so I gotta get the video. Give me a sec.
Coming up, we got a little preview of the cartoon for y'all.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about your cartoon while I set up a hotspot?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's called Hey. We've been working on it. On it for, I want to say maybe like 2 years. Wrote it with a team. Everybody was great. Who wrote it with me? My friend Sharon from college helped write it. The homie, if you guys know the FD signifier, he helped me write it. Voice numbers from the Void, another person with a really great channel that helped write it, helped put it together. And Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, who is also does video essays. He's great. He got the voice of Marcus, and he helped direct the cartoon as well. But I think the clip might be ready.
I know, I'm waiting for the video to show up.
For the jobs.
There we go, alright. Welcome to an exclusive screening.
Also the scratch that well, so you'll like hear me and awestruck thoughts from time to
Yeah, is this like a YouTube link? Like, no.
It's like a drop thing.
Yeah, buffering.
What's the bottom?
Come on.
I'll just make up the cartoon.
If it doesn't work, we'll have Chewix get up and act out.
Sorry. So, it's just secret cat. So, is there any specific reason why you wanted to call it in?
It is a secret. That's true. The thematic reason that I think.
We got buffer.
You see it.
All right. Yeah.
We gotta. You can follow the cartoon on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, all at the name cartoon. I was lucky enough to snag the at on everything. So yeah, thank you for watching that. I really appreciate it. Here's some other neat examples of slice of life. You got Failing Upward, Oddball Adventures, Ollie and Scoops, Screentime. Screentime is in the building, actually.
Yeah. Hi, screentime. He does have a hat on.
You gotta have a hat on.
He's not a stick puppet. I'm real.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming. Now let's chat. If you have some questions or you want to bring up some discussion, yeah. But does my phone work?
Hello.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Who's going first? You want to be the mic guy? I don't think it's gonna stretch super far though, so you still gotta make a line or come up here. Okay. Hey, you wanna go first? Yeah. But yeah, maybe make a line. By the projector. And we got 20 minutes, so we'll try to take as many questions as we can.
Yeah. Okay,
now
who are you?
I gotta tell everybody who I am. You don't have to. I'm not talking about myself. Hi, I'm Ariana. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Hi. Okay, so that's how I'm like the second table. What is your opinion about the way Hey Arnold portrays people of color? Not good.
I like Jim. Outside of like Zero, I guess maybe for stuff his something to get with like
Yeah, we were just talking about your She's Fat adultification video yesterday, and I think that covers everything that I would have to say about it.
Yeah, it's like in like Mr. Oscar, like he's like a stereotype too.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's like it's not his own, but it's like a product of the time. You know. Yeah. Wait.
It's not good.
No offense.
I've been here like on the mic.
Oh, I thought you were.
All right. Hey, how we doing? My name's Gabe. Video essayist.
What's your channel? What's the channel?
Madness. Shout out Virgo.
What's your name?
Julian Madness.
Okay.
We out there.
Are you down there?
I just have a quick little story. Spin a little yarn real quick about how I got beef with Mike Rice, the writer on The Simpsons.
You mean Mike?
Mike Reese.
Like,
My 13th reason. So he wrote a book recently. Right. He was here at Momocon. And I was like, oh my god, creator, but writer of The Simpsons. Oh my god. He was like, yeah, man, it's nice to meet you. Took a picture of me. I was in like a Tigger cosplay or whatever. It's cool. I was like, oh my god, you wrote Mission Hill too, right? And he was like, no. I didn't write Mission Hill. I did the credit. Yeah. He gave me like a sleeve, like, he gave me like a soft flex of the gut. He was like, it hurt. What? Like, he did hurt him. He hurt him on the inside. It hurt him on the inside. But secondly, I wanted to say congratulations on your show.
Oh, thank you.
And you got a trademark too?
Okay. Let me explain that. The reason there's a TM at the end of the Hey logo is literally because D'Angelo said it would be funny.
I mean, yes, it is trademark.
Three, Kiki, Man, Dummy, and Bobby here. Thank you for all the time that you've given me just border work or just for college. But my question is, what do you think constitutes a good status quo change in slice of life cartoon?
That's a good question. What constitutes a good status quo change?
When they stick to it.
Number one, when they stick to it, is it gonna advance something about the characters and tell us a new story about the characters, or is it gonna be destructive to everything that's been building so far? And you can be destructive in a way that is interesting for the story, but I feel like I've seen a lot of cases where it was just upsetting and didn't really move anything forward in like a pleasant,
I think
or even useful way.
When it lines up with a character's journey thematically, I think it's I think that's when it's put it better. I think like a change, like a drastic change, if they try to do something really different that's not really the show. Like we talked about The Simpsons, like the principal and the pauper, where they said that Mr. Skinner isn't even really Skinner for real. People didn't like that because it doesn't really make sense for that cartoon. You know. So I think when it makes sense for the show, for the heroes' journey or whatever, with their goal. And also if you can still get new things out of them that way. Because there's examples like King of the Hill, like there's that episode where Bill falls in love with Con's mom, and it ends like that. They stay together at the end. But they quietly get rid of her because they realize that ruins Bill. He can't be the same loser character that way with that status quo change. So while it's like good to see him that happy, it does kind of like ruin the dynamic a little bit.
Darren for Told by Ginger comes to mind too, and I feel like were they canceled or did they? I feel like maybe they got canceled with how they ended it, but I feel like if they had just taken a few more episodes to like grow Darren and Ginger a little bit more, it would be so upsetting to see like the way he's treating her in high school as a football player, and then jumping right to the ending where they're grown up and they're married and they have a baby, you know, because what they did with Darren's character was like upsetting to me, but had they done more with it other than him just like abandoning her when she gets sick, I feel like that would have been a lot more meaningful. The way it is just upsetting. Thank you.
Thank you for moving my day and my door.
You don't know what that means to me. Thank you.
I'm exploring for I want to be a cartoon and I was an artist and go watch it do my school. That's what they know. Much like I'm a VR, I was looking at all your videos and you always have certain opinions on how, you know, certain ones you get certain views and everything like that and what the people watch. So I wanted to ask what video that if you had to like delete every other video on your channel, what's something you would want to keep up there? What's one video you want to delete forever? And what a video that you really want to keep
Oh, okay. This is a good question. Delete forever. I'll start there.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
I know what it is. I think y'all want me to say how I black. Damn, I don't know what to do forever. I'll circle back to that. I think if I was to delete everything and keep one, you could toss a coin in the air between the weekenders and the chipmunk adventure. Those are the two that I'll
get that
look back
though.
and I'm so proud. It was great. And one that I really want to make. There's one that like is just kind of a dream. The reason I haven't done it is because it'd be a nightmare to put together. But I wanted to do a video about cartoons that went to theaters, theatrical cartoon movies. But I wanted to make it about how different that process is. And my plan was to interview someone like at least one person from a bunch of different movies. I spent a lot of time on IMDb looking at everybody, and I just was like, man, somebody gonna have to find these email addresses. I don't know if I can do it. I'm circling back to delete forever. Man, is it just I'm a black dude? I don't.
I asked you one. I'm like, why do you not like that video so much? What is it?
Oh, okay, yeah, I can answer that. The reason I'm so like I resent that video is because I think that a lot of the analysis in it, I was just kind of figuring out how to do that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of the analysis in it is real like bare bones and simple, and I take a lot of there's a lot of stuff in it that doesn't need to be there. Like, why? I personally, I feel like I shouldn't have been that mean to Black Panther. I think that was ridiculous. But I was 20. You know what I mean? Like, I was young when I did that. Or 20. I was 20. I was 20 or 21, either one. Like, I was significantly younger when I did that. And I had no idea. Well, okay. The story is, I was on the phone with some homies, and I was editing the video, and I said, if this doesn't get to 1 million views, I'm gonna take it down. I didn't mean it, but it happened. And now I didn't know if many people were gonna see that. But yeah, it's really just that. It's like there's a lot of like regret in it. That's like, oh, I was too mean here, or like this point doesn't really mean much. I could have expanded on it. It's more like after you like stand back and look at like
it's like when you're those first few sketches you used to make first started making art.
Yeah, it's like if you watch an audio commentary for a cartoon and then like you just hear the crew like, oh, look at that, you're on. Like you grow and you change. But yeah, okay.
All right, thank you both so much.
No problem.
Can I tell you what I would delete?
Please.
I would delete the video I made on Catherine the video game, or want to remake it, because I don't think I handled it very well. I would keep my As Told by Ginger Hello Stranger video, and I would cringe at deleting my Danny Phantom video, but I think I would keep the Ginger one. And then a video I really want to make is a video on all of the lost episodes of Invader Zim that never got made, which I think is going to be my first video back when I come back. Gotta go through some shit!
Hello, I'm Nathaniel. I'm a big avid watcher of cartoons, and I was wondering, would you say the Looney Tunes show count as a slice of life cartoon?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, we love the Looney Tunes show over here. It's definitely a slice of life cartoon. You domesticate the Looney Tunes.
Fantastical slice of life,
Yeah.
My favorite Looney Tunes, the Looney Tunes show episode is the one where Daffy uses all of Porky Pig's life savings to buy a yacht.
Yeah. We will not.
Thank you. He took it down.
Look at you.
All right, so two for thought. Obviously, you know that already. So this is about Hank.
Okay.
What is the one reaction, like when your pilot ultimately releases, what is the one reaction that would really resonate with you the hardest? Like what would make Like, what would make you think, yes, this is what I wanted people to feel?
It's kind of been happening. It's just like it was really important to me that that Dave, the main character, that she was dark skinned and that she was plus size because that's the women that I grew up around. It was really important to me. I felt like the women and the girls that I grew up with, I saw black girls in cartoons, but they never looked like the ones I grew up with. And just seeing people react to her at the time and like, oh, she's so pretty, like she has like my body type is the best. So that's really it. Yeah.
I have at least one friend who talked a lot about body size diversity.
Yeah, it's important stuff. Thank you. Hey.
I like your phone case.
Yes.
What would you think is the best way to end a slice of life cartoon? Because I'm creating one right now, so I can really planning it. But what would you think is the best way to end a slice of life cartoon?
I feel like I would want to see a depiction of the way that the characters have changed throughout the show, but just having a normal day. Like the scene of like Hank Hill and Bobby like feeling together. Yeah. I think the finale.
Yeah.
And I think that has a perfect pilot too.
That's a great King of the Hill finale. It's a great movie.
I'll study that one.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
The pilot.
Thematically, it ties Hank and Bobby's story together. And there's that little montage at the end that shows you everybody else. Nancy doesn't have her head anymore. You see who now is
The pilot and the finale are both about how much Hank Hill loves his son, but depicted in very different ways.
Right.
Thank you.
That's that man.
Hi. First of all, I just wanted to say, contrary to what you said before, there actually is a King of the Hill video game. It came out in 2000, the PC and Mac.
You know everything.
It's a blessing and a curse. And it's actually free because it's abandonware, so if you ever want to download it, you can play it on your computer and get it to run. So my actual question was, going back to Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
How do you think the fan base and reputation would have changed if it kept the style, tone, and impetus of its first season?
Well, they were like, because it wasn't always like super wholesome. Like they were like
mean.
Yeah, they were kind of mean to each other.
Yeah. And just like the general tone.
Yeah, like it was a different.
The pilot having that one burger of the day.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to see it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it would have kind of been lumped in with like everything else that's being produced today. Because while those episodes are still really funny, they don't really stand out necessarily. Bob is still like kind of like an angry dad. He's not really anything special. So there's a world where potentially people write the cartoon off and it just kind of disappears after a few years maybe. Or there's a world where it kind of like gets like a meme status like Family Guy or something. Because of how these characters are, I think.
I feel like the longevity is based on the wholesomeness for that show.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. I don't think it would have gotten a movie without it.
Right. Yeah. No.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Didn't try that down to stop it. I know.
Well, you're like,
Hi.
hello. I just wanted to ask, what was your favorite Bob's Burgers episode? Because I always want to hear when we start talking about Bob's Burgers. I was like, oh my god, finally.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
I really like. I feel like. Oh, I know my favorite episode. It's the cheap answer, but the 100, the bad stuff happens in the bathroom. The middle one, that one, that one's great. Second runner-up is the Die Hard musical. That one's good. Yeah.
I'm blanking on like a favorite, but the two episodes that are in my brain right now are the oil spill episode. And the one where they show all the paintings of like the butthole cap.
Those like two for everyone.
Yeah, because I was obsessed with the early Bob's Burgers, and then I kind of like fell off. Yeah, but.
Go get you back. No problem.